Welcome, neighbors, to another Desert Sands RV park, Swamp. Swim-in movies. Tonight, we give you Easy Rider. It was 1969 when Easy Rider hit the big screen, a landmark movie in a landmark year. Among the 100 best movies of all time, the American Film Institute ranks it at number 84 because it made a statement. To hear what the film was saying, you need to listen to the conversations inspired by the headlines that startled us every evening on the 6 o'clock news. It's about damn time. We said that as peace talks concluded between the U.S. and North Vietnam, and the first U.S. troops, our sons, brothers, and husbands, finally came home. I can't believe what I'm seeing. We said that as the Concorde made its first test flight, traveling at more than 2,000 miles per hour, twice the speed of sound. The first artificial heart was installed into the chest cavity of a man who would have otherwise died, and then, wherever they were, everyone stopped, our eyes glued to the broadcast, worldwide, as we watched astronaut Neil Armstrong press the first human footprint into the ancient dust, walking on the moon. Sometimes we were speechless and could only shake our heads in disbelief. The Zodiac Killer claimed his first victim. A cultish group of youth created terror with their rampage of gruesome murders, all under the leadership of a vagabond named Charles Manson. And in Cleveland, the Cuyahoga River caught fire. It was that polluted. Sometimes we had no idea what we were witnessing. Otherwise, we might have said, "What just happened?" It was an impromptu concert atop the roof of Apple Corps headquarters, Apple Records, but it would become the Beatles' final public performance together. And on the Ed Sullivan Show, we met for the first time the youngest member of the Jackson family when little Michael joined his brothers on stage. They were the Jackson Five, kind of no big deal, so why would we even imagine that the little boy with the big voice had so much talent that he'd one day rank as the best-selling solo artist of all time? Who said? Those were our statements as we challenged the social taboos we'd been raised with. The movie Midnight Cowboy was released with an X rating. Canada officially approved the use of contraception, and the FDA finally declared that the first truly convenient and reliable form of birth control was safe. It was so monumental we gave it the simplest of names, the pill. It might have come along just in time as America's youth danced and partied and let it all hang out on a hillside farm in upstate New York. 3 days, 500,000 people, zero incidents of violence, and music whose notes and lyrics would linger for generations, known now by the attendees' grandchildren. The event was named for its location, the nearest tiny town of Woodstock. But wait, there's more. A cult classic is about to be born. The movie starred Peter Fonda, Dennis Hopper, Jack Nicholson, and a 1952 Harley-Davidson Panhead, fondly known as Captain America. Named for the engine's distinctive pan-like valve covers, the Harley-Davidsons were already 16 years old when they were greatly modified into choppers. Basically, the ugly stuff was removed and replaced by only what was necessary. The point was to beautify the lines. Captain America had no front brake, no rear shock, a teardrop tank, king and queen seat, and fishtail pipes. According to Peter Fonda, there were 4 bikes built, 2 Billy bikes and 2 Captain Americas. The work was done by Cliff Vaughn and Ben, the King of Bikes Hardy, 2 talented motorcycle builders whose work went largely overlooked for the next 25 years, because they were black. As for Easy Rider's production, it was Bob Rafelson and Bert Schneider who put up the money. You won't know their names, but you'll be familiar with another of their creations, the Monkees. The screenplay was co-written by Peter Fonda, Dennis Hopper, and Terry Southern, and it was Hopper who directed the film. Aimed at the youth of America, it was a far departure from the innocence of the flicks that were the only choice up to then, such movies as Pillow Talk, Gidget, and Beach Blanket Bingo. In the scene where Wyatt, Billy, and George smoke pot, the 3 actors were actually getting loaded. As for the music, this had never been done before either. It took Hopper a year to edit the film. As he listened to the radio while he worked, it occurred to him that Easy Rider could become a time capsule for that period. Each of the artists viewed the film, signed a release, and were paid $1,000. Well, except for Dylan, who said they couldn't use his song It's All Right, Ma. Finally, after some talking, Roger McGuinn, you know, from the Byrds, recorded a cover of the song, then teamed with Dylan to write the Ballad of Easy Rider for the closing credits, which is ironic, as Dylan wasn't even mentioned. The budget was only $400,000, but Easy Rider became a counterculture blockbuster, earning 150 times that for a total of $60 million worldwide. Among its many distinguished mentions, it received 2 Academy Awards nominations for Best Original Screenplay and Best Supporting Actor, Jack Nicholson. At the Cannes Film Festival, it took the award for Best First Work, and in 1998, the Library of Congress selected the film for preservation in the United States National Film Registry. Unfortunately, things didn't end well for Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper, the 2 actors who rode their choppers in such companionship. After a falling out over money, Hopper held a grudge that lasted for 41 years. In 2010, Fonda made several attempts to see him while Hopper was still alive. Hopper refused. Even after Hopper's death, Fonda chartered a flight to New Mexico for the funeral. He was turned away. It was a tumultuous time. It was a time of advances, changes, and confusion, and the film's tagline is bittersweet. A man went looking for America and couldn't find it anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, the Desert Sands RV Park gives you Easy Rider.